And now Andy's making that decision now.
Yeah, many of you will know
I think he's
Andy Martin, favorite of some of our stream watchers here. And part-time commentator when Vince Tundo's on the lunch run. Leanna starts the game with the shock land this time to get the Avacyn's Pilgrim into play on turn 1.
Let's see. I mean, what can she put out right now?
Well, she can start with Smiters. Andy's the deck with... Yeah, she's just going to attack for 1, though.
Could you imagine a Boros Reckoner here?
Yeah, that would have definitely been strong. Do we see those? Yeah, she's got 4 of them in her list.
Yep.
Obviously would have been ideal, but Andy's deck is a little bit different here. So these aren't exact mirror matches, even though they're both kind of classified under Naya midrange. Andy plays 4 Flinthoof Boar. Leanna plays 0. 3 Hellrider for Andy, 0 for Leanna. Let's see. Andy's also got
kites though over here.
Yeah, she's kind of the bigger end of things. Now, Andy can generate some advantage with a Domri raid. He's got 2 of those in his deck. He also has Gore Clan Rampagers and Rancors, so he kind of has more style than Leanna's deck does. Playing more spells and more tricks, and Leanna's is just more like, my creatures get bigger. They still just top out at 5. And
I just saw 2 Thragtusk in Leanna's hand. So
yeah.
If she gets down the next turn, it's just going to be Thragtusk.
Yep.
We're going to have a party.
And she drew a Restoration Angel. So even if there's only 1 Thragtusk in there, there is 2.
And I could be completely wrong. Here's a Cavern. And we're going to see 5 tap out. I was going to say she had such an explosive start. If she was playing a deck similar to Andy's, I think she would have just took off.
Yeah.
She missed 2 drops where she could have been playing 3 drops. And it should be 20 to 18 at this time with the 2 pokes.
But I do think she's well suited in the matchup.
It's 25 to 18 with the Thragtusk life gain. And we're going to see a Rancor and an attack and a chump block, but he's going to play. He's going in for a
so
Boros Charm
she blocks with the Thragtusk, and then
to
it gets,
keep it alive.
Yep.
So
actually, probably double striked.
You think he's not going to?
Well, because the first strike and trample will deal 3 damage over, and then his guy won't die either. So double strike's just 9 damage as well as my guy's still alive.
That's
right?
true.
So
yep.
A huge play there for Andy, and Leanna's already down to 11.
No, she actually gained 5 life from the...
Okay, so she'll be at 16.
16.
So 16 for Leanna and 18 for Andy. She's got that 3/3 beast.
Which now this Angel of Serenity is... This is where it's going to put in some work.
She has the Serenity in play? Or in her hand?
She drew it.
Okay.
Remember, she drew it the last turn.
Gotcha. I thought it was a resto. But it's hard to see all the cards in her hand there. A couple red ones here. I'm wondering if she's got some bonfires stuck in her hand. But another Thragtusk to take her to 21.
Hopefully Andy has another combat trick, which...
He's got a Rampager. We can see that. So that would keep it alive, but I don't know that I would block here if I'm Leanna. I think I just take it.
Well, he's...
Because I guess it depends. I was under the impression that was a Restoration Angel, so that's kind of still...
Yeah, but she has no mana to use it anyway.
In my thought. Right, that's why I just wouldn't block, take it, and then I'd be able to rest the Thragtusk. So, but even without it in my hand... that was a 3/3 that blocked. So she took 3 there, and she should be down to 18.
Andy plays another Lockstone Smiter and a Pilgrim.
And other than the Rampager, I'm not sure what the other cards in Andy's hand are.
He's doing a good job at hiding them.
Yes.
be a gritful for Leanna, though.
Yeah, and hopefully that is a Restoration Angel because she didn't have any other play here.
All those angels look alike. It's very hard to decipher.
I really like Leanna's deck, though. I'm glad she was doing well. Just the sheer power level of the cards in her deck, and anybody that's willing to devote a couple slots for Sigarda is okay in my opinion, because that card is massively underplayed in this format.
Yeah, I mean, she gets to turn 4 and she's just dropping every card in her deck, provided that she has a dork, and she typically does every time we've seen her play. Looks like we have a judge question.
Leanna's turn to play a combat trick here. She wants to make sure she gets it right. She doesn't seem at all flustered by the camera at all. I know a lot of players don't like to call for judges and stuff when they're on camera because they feel like they're advertising. They don't know the rules or whatever. But I call judges over all the time. I'm like, I really wish it worked this way, so I'm just going to double check and make sure. You never know. If you don't check when you're not 100% positive, you miss something.
Yep.
And we're all human. Even judges miss something.
Well, missing something is how you lose the game.
Right. I know some judges. They say I'm pretty pumped if I only make one or two bad calls in a weekend, and I don't want to be that guy. So I check. I appeal.
So she's just got to be contemplating this, right? If she does have the restoration. So it looks like she's.
Yep, and she does.
Okay.
So I believe she's only going to lose one, right? So she should go to 17 here. We should get a life total check just to be sure, given all the shenaniganry that's been happening. I think we're looking at a 3/3 Pokemon there.
18.
Okay, so we had the life total down on there. I think that means we were a little off though, because we didn't have to adjust for that Thragtusk, and Rancor should have meant that combat that combat damage was dealt regardless of blockers.
Was that another Pilgrim? That card on the very end, the one that she just drew?
I was not able to see it.
Thinking about 2 mana. Let's see what 2 mana card she has. A Farseek, probably.
Just to kind of comment on something from the chat room here. The Loxodon Smiter actually has trample, so all 6 damage would have trampled over after the blocker got blinked. So I think she would have lost 1 on the combat, unless I missed exactly what happened. Which is obviously certainly possible.
They put 2.
Oh, there was also a Pilgrim there?
I think he put the right.
I don't know, but 18/18, and these are the creatures on the board. So that was just my thought, and I'm not 100% sure I saw the blocks correctly. Doesn't look like a Pilgrim.
I think it was a Farseek, to be honest. She immediately tapped 2 mana untapped, and the only thing really in her deck is Boros Charm and Farseek. So
Color blindness might let me want that to think it's a red card, though I'm not sure.
you're way off then. I was thinking green.
It's just a Thundermaw Hellkite, not a Farseek.
Oh yeah, she's just feigning a Farseek.
But she's taking her time with her attacks here. Decides just the Restoration Angel, and it drops Andy down to 15.
And just a pass. So my guess is, if you're right and it's the red card, I think it might be a Boros Charm. John Kapinski's in the room now with us. And Andy's turn, his whole team sideways, it looks like.
He's got a couple of lockstyle spiders out. And that's the Hell Rider he just played.
Oh.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage straight away. Nope, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage straight away. So Leanna drops to 14 from the Hell Rider triggers.
So Leanna's going to take 4.
So then let's see what she does blocking. So she's at 14 before blockers. It goes 3/3 in front of a Hell Rider.
See how it keeps going to 100%. That's wondering why it stopped.
Yeah.
Mana falls to
14 for now.
14.
Soon to be more, but we're not sure how much. And the Thragtuskle.
So this Boros Charm, if she does have it, is just going to be so key right here, right? She gets to keep all her guys.
Yeah, it would keep all her guys up. It depends on how much damage she takes in spite of it. You know, Andy's also representing Boros Charm.
He also has the Rampager, right?
Yes, he does. Hasn't played it yet, so it should still just be in his hand, and I think that's what he's kind of debating here a little bit.
Yeah.
There it is.
He's Rampaging.
Making sure that the Smiter has trample as well. So now it's an 8/8, so there will be 7 damage there. 3 damage, 10, 14. That's exactly lethal by my count.
Yep. You're counting up, and they're about to scoop up the cards. There we go.
Yep. So Andy takes game 1. And Leanna can't catch a break on camera here, but clearly doing well off camera, though. I don't really see too many, she didn't really have a whole massive mistakes there or anything like that. Like, she took some different lines than what me and you would have done the first time she was on, but really, whether or not she's choosing the correct line, she's making the correct play to, for her line of play.
It's really hard to say because Leanna, she started with a Pilgrim, and for 2 turns she just attacked with it, like not having anything to do when she has the Reckoners, and I thought she has the Smiter, she has the Reckoners, like, so it's not like she didn't have a great turn 2 or even a great turn 3 play. She just didn't draw them, and if she would have had all that pressure before Andy even had, his first Smiter up on like turn 4. Right,
and when he played his Smiter and then it got Rancor, she became on her heels, and when she's on her heels and he's got the Hell Riders, like, she's in a position where when she goes first, which she did there, if she's able to get that pressure, she's got him playing defensive Hell Riders. How bad are Hell Riders on defense?
Yeah. I would have loved to see a turn 2 Reckoner come out. And maybe we'll see that in this game. What do you think she's bringing in against Andy?
Well, she's probably going to bring in blind obediences. She saw Hell Rider, and that's really kind of enough. Like, in a deck that could be representing Thundermaw Hellkite as well. She doesn't have that information. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Andy's sideboard here. I don't know. He'll be bringing in his he did not see her haste creatures. Her Thundermaw Hellkites. So he might actually leave the blind obediences out, but I expect him to bring in Gruul Charm and Celestia Charm and maybe Blasphemous Act, depending, but I don't know. He didn't see any Reckoners on her side of the board, so he could be thinking he might be the only one playing them. But most Naya decks, I think you just assume they've got them. And you can't, when you're playing against Reckoners, you can't cast your Blasphemous Axe.
Yeah.
Because their 13 damage happens first and you're dead.
I'm not seeing too many cards that if I was Leanna, I'm bringing in.
Yeah, the Triumph of Ferocity seems a little... just inconsistent. Like, the opponent doesn't draw the card, so it's not bad, but how often is it going to happen? I don't think she brings that in either. I think she brings in the Celestia Charms.
Yeah, that's about it. Combat a little bit of his trample with her trample, and
or even just, you in the situation if you give a Rancor to a Loxodon Smiter, I get to exile your guy with 5 power or greater.
It does clear a significant amount of things on in Andy's deck. Little fun in the booth.
It's always exciting here.
So Andy's all ready.
And again, this for those of you not familiar, this is a tournament being held in Erie, Pennsylvania at GameCore. It's the Season 3 of the GameCore Championship Series Open event. So the winner here, Andy gives us a little smile. Watch what he does, Vince. Watch it. I like this. He winks at us, and then he draws his cards. Andy's always a showman. You got to appreciate that. But, yeah, this is a $1,000 store credit up for grabs here. Please share the link on your Facebook. Let your friends know. Come over, check us out. During the top 8, we will be doing a trivia contest. The size of the store credit that will be given away that will be usable on the website, which should be open Tuesday, Wednesday, early next week. So even if you're not local, even if you don't make it out to GameCore, you still like free Magic cards, right? Because that means you can now redeem those things off of our stream that you win. And Leanna starts us off here with an Avacyn's Pilgrim. And he does not look like he wants to be outdone. So I think they high-fived there. We got a little lag. But teamwork, I guess.
I'm really hoping that she does have this turn 2 3-drop to follow up on. It seems like every time we see Andy play, he does, and it looks like she does. She's about to put out a Boros Reckoner, and it looks like Andy's got the Loxodon Smiter in his hand for his rebuttal. But we'll see if it plays out that way. She definitely taps. Just what she wants to put down, and she might have a Smiter as well. So she forces out the Smiter first, which I think it's better knowing that Andy's best thing he could do is a Smiter back.
Reckoners aren't impressive when there's 4/4s.
Yes.
They don't get added value. You want 2-for-1s off your Reckoners, not 1-for-1 trades. Or at least 1-for-1 trades plus a bunch of damage to my opponent.
I mean, hard to tell what else. Looks like Andy has look like Blind Obedience to me. Or it could be Rest in Peace, that top card.
Yeah, that's a Blind Obedience.
And I think he also has a Boros Reckoner in hand.
There's a Reckoner for Leanna.
Very similar hands.
Yes,
and
a Flint Hoof Boar for
I think I saw the Rampager as well.
And we can even hear them laughing from here about how they're just clones of each other.
I do not see a third land for Andy.
Yeah, so a big advantage here. He plays the smaller guy, so he'll still be able to play stuff, but he needs to be competing. He needs to go, like, in a couple of turns, he needs to be Blind Obedience plus another guy. If he just gets a 5-drop here, just slammed on him. She does have a Celestia Charm in her hand.
And this is one of those scenarios right here where if decks like this start to play Acidic Slime, it's a total blowout against Andy. Like when you miss a land drop and at 2, and then she hits a 4th turn Acidic Slime.
Is this where you board though?
I think so. In a lot of these matches, they're playing. You're playing a ramp guy. You're not really totally relying on, but like Andy is ideal at 3 mana, right? For his early.
Yeah, it lets him play Domery. I mean, he can't hard cast Hellrider, He's got Hellrider, Thragtusk, and then like hard casting a Rampager.
Yeah, if he throws out a ramp, one of the dorks, he'd be up at 4 mana with 3 lands. Mm-hmm. So ideally, like you're gonna keep a hand that has like 2 lands, in a thing. And if you don't see one for a while, like an Acidic Slime is just a total blowout. As evident earlier, it can.
Yeah. So
We're gonna have a.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna get a Celestia
wow.
Charm on a Boros Reckoner. Oh, you know, that means that the Andy's Reckoner can't turn around and kill his Reckoner.
Yeah.
And then that Reckoner wouldn't be able to turn around and kill the Smiter. So it kind of stops that chain. And Andy takes 5 damage in the process, dropping down to 15. And now Leanna's the only one with a Boros Reckoner. So, but Leanna's the only one with lands to cast 4 drops. So we'll have to see if Andy's able to draw one. He gets a Rampager.
Which these mana tricks are great, or these
Combat tricks.
these combat tricks are great, but eventually Leanna's gonna start putting out just bigger guys than Andy can deal with 2 mana.
Yeah.
It's like a flint hoof board.
Yep.
No, Leanna, did she miss the land drop as well then?
She missed the land. Yeah, after she had one more after
Looks
Andy.
like she just drew
Cavern. Yeah.
Cavern.
It is.
She's pretty much online to play anything in her deck.
It's almost certainly a red card there.
So if you're Andy, what do you want to see here?
Just, I don't know if I could flip her hand over and see.
Yeah.
I just want to see nothing but lands, obviously. You know what I mean? But like,
Oh no, I mean,
you're just gonna want to, yeah. For,
Andy's next draw.
oh, his draw. I'm sorry. I'm like thinking, what is? Okay, so there's Sigarda. Looks like that was not a red card actually, but nonetheless, it was my favorite card in her
Yes.
deck. So, a welcome addition, I'm sure. But
She's got to be happy having a flyer to his ground pound.
But I mean, as far as Andy's draws, he really could probably make some good use out of. I don't know. After Sigarda, is there a good draw?
I'd say
land.
another land.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got to hit land. That's it. I was going to say before that, like I could make good use out of a Domri raid right now, but a Boros Reckoner for Andy. Just trying to maintain a board presence here. But Sigarda's looks very likely to win the day.
Especially if she's got like a Boros charm. This is going to go from 3 turns to 2 turns.
Yep.
And there's really nothing Andy can do about it in the air. And he
Let's see, just like
looks like he knows it.
yeah,
And looks like a
Thundermaw. Yo.
wow.
Oof.
She's just bringing the team.
I think it's
gonna do 4 damage.
It's a little risky on my end
Or
to
I'm
play
saying
the, or I'm sorry, to attack with the Boros Reckoner. I feel like I'd leave that back.
Oh,
Yep, Andy knows. But I guess, yeah, like what's Andy going to do? Block it, and then she gets to send damage to his face? Like, that seems fine.
unless Andy, was able to block one thing, stay alive, and then
Right.
swing back for lethal next turn.
Right. Well, Leanne gets her first on-camera victory here. Fortunately, she dropped round 1 2-0 against a Esper control deck. I forgot his name, unfortunately. In 5th place at Grand Prix Pittsburgh. Why would I remember that? I'm just terrible at names. It's nothing personal. Nick?
No.
I don't know.
Jobin?
Jobin. But,
Well, it's good that we're going to see a game 3. I feel like it's been quite some time on the feature match.
take a little rest here from having a run to get the next one going. We should win it. Even when the decisive moment looks like it's upon us, we'll have to go out there, though, see if there's one we'll pull in. If they're going to go to the game 3.
I really love watching these matchups, though. I think they're fun matchups, especially with the diversity of what Andy has. Just his combat tricks alone, the Rampagers. Like, I would love to see some interaction with that Dami raid, but playing one of, we're probably not going to see it. Just
What we
I
got?
do see a Boros charm in Andy's
Well,
hand.
there's actually 4 Domri raids in this match right now, 2 on each side.
That's one.
Yeah, well, 1 or 2, yeah. Handwriting is difficult to read sometimes. We were picking on Leanne for having the worst handwriting we've seen a girl have in some time.
Though it looks very nice to me.
Oh, it's a heck of a lot nicer than anything I could do. I don't, there's no
So we got
no doubt about that. Farseek here.
yeah.
As Andy says, that must be nice. I've got M10 lands. Or M13 lands. They came out in 10. I'm calling them M10 lands. I like the Buddy Land name for them, though, personally.
What's that?
For the M10s and the Innistrads, to kind of lump them together since they act the same. We just call them Buddy Lands.
Buddy lands.
Because one of their friends are out, and they just come in untapped.
So we got a Sacred Foundry over for Liana. So I'm gonna call it Boros Reckoner. Right here.
It's less
She
impressive
just
when
drew
we can see her
Restoration
hand.
Angel. So she might lay a land and pass. And let this Flintpuff board just get eaten alive.
I mean, we've seen so many combat tricks,
Oh,
though. Like, it could very well, it's likely the right play,
Okay.
but it's got to be tough to do. Just like, well, I guess I'll leave myself really open to this trick. Like, but I don't know, Leanna's hand looks very strong here. Andy looks like I think he's got a smiter here to add to the board as well.
He's got double Smiter, double Boros Charm.
And he's also got a Rampager.
Super strong again. And a Thragtusk.
Doesn't look like he's getting to Thragtusk mana for a couple turns, but when he does, it'll be a welcome addition to the board and his life total.
He is swinging in. He's going to try to make use of this Rampager while we can. So to me, I'm just taking the 3 because you know that he has so many combat tricks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but there's the argument where if she's got a card, just a grip full of stuff, you know what I mean? Like now she's going to take 3 damage here and go to 17, but Andy used a card and didn't play a creature. So if she's just going to play another guy that then blocks and kills him, and then another guy that blocks and kills him, like it'll just force him through so many answers and keep him from building up the board to an extent that she can't deal with it.
But basically, he would have just took the 3, or she would have.
With a Boros Charm in hand, I think you're absolutely correct. That's just I think what's kind of going on in her head is she.
And she has a Restoration Angel.
Yes. Reckoner.
Or wasn't it Reckoner? I thought she had that. And that's another reason I think I would have laid that over the Smiter.
She just wanted first strike and like not to have to pay to.
Yeah,
do
but
that.
I mean, doesn't that just stop the Rampager play too? Because even if she does Rampager, like she sends the 3 back at it.
And then it's got 7 toughness then, so it wouldn't die because it was +4/+4, and he's a 3/3.
But it's
Although he
dealing
actually,
7 to
I'm
it,
sorry,
though.
he's a 2/2.
Yeah, and it deals it to the
But it gives him trample, so only 3 would be dealt to him. So, in the event that this was actually a 3/3 Flinthoof boar, which I just kind of I give all Flinthoof boars that credit. It's like, well, you wouldn't have it in your deck if you didn't always have a forest or a mountain, I should say. But Searing Spear,
which is just going to be a 2-for-1 on
yeah,
Leanna's spot. That's what Boros Reckoner's for.
I don't know that I would have gone with the Searing Spear there, but I guess I'd have to know all the cards in Andy's hand, and I'm just not confident enough to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just thinking like, let's get the game to a point where I can, that Reckoner's just so good against Thragtusk is what I'm trying to say, and Andy has a Thragtusk in his hand.
With no 5th land yet.
Right.
But the rest of his hand, and here's looks like a Thundermaw coming in for Leanna.
Yeah, so Andy drops down to 15.
Yep. He's going to take 5 on that.
Thundermaw's just such a big deal
So
right
much
now.
mana on Leanna's side, and we really hope that Andy gets some kind of lane here just to keep the game going.
not super unreasonable that he hasn't seen it though. Unfortunately, like as much as I'd prefer he sees it, and we, you know what I mean. We have an awesome game 3. What's the number he's playing here?
Probably 24.
23.
23. See now.
Just 4 mana dorks. It's a little late to want a track tusk on curve. Still not unreasonable to ask for, but he takes another 5, drops down to 10.
So this Boros Charm in Leon's hand, that could be it for next turn.
Yes.
If nothing gets done here.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably going to be forced to play the Thragtusk. I'd be very surprised if the Thragtusk did not come down here, right?
He has to, but he doesn't know that he has to. So we'll have to wait and see what he does here. But he starts with an attack for 4. Ooh. Video got a little crazy on us.
Which she just takes. Oh no, she does decide to block.
Yeah, she seems to just have eventuality about it. So may as well.
And here's the Thragtusk.
Yep.
Bring
Taking Andy back up to 15.
But here's the resto.
Getting it in there on the main phase. I don't dislike that. Or is that the end of Andy's turn? Okay.
This is the end of
Yep.
Andy's turn.
Yep.
So what do we have? We have 13 damage on the board right now with Boros Charm in the air.
Yep.
Nothing
And
Andy can do about it. Do we know if
She just drew Stomping Ground, but I don't know what the third card is.
Okay.
There's too much glare. Oof. We'll have to get the stream restarted briefly after this one. Fix that choppiness. We do apologize.
she's going to turn both of her cards sideways. Oh, just the 5.
All right, Andy down to 15.
Probably thinking that, keep him thinking that he's going to be alive next turn, and then just so far out of reach.
Yeah.
And we got a Rampager. So unless Andy wins right here,
Let's see. He can double strike. 4-4.
so Andy should be at 10.
So Andy can make a 9-9, double strike at 18, attack with 4 or 5 more. So Andy can 23 damage right now.
I think she's gonna block with the Restoration Angel.
She certainly needs to.
Yeah.
Might not know that. She's seen all the cards Andy's going to use, but he hasn't had an Alpha Strike turn like this yet. So this will be a very, very big game, or a very, very big turn here. Both players, I think, have the opportunity to both win and lose the game on the spot right
She
now.
just has to realize that the Hell Rider plus her charm is gonna win her the game. And I think Andy's trying to figure out, how he can trick her into not blocking.
Andy's at 8, I believe, right now, though, as an FYI.
Well, he was at 15 and took 5.
He was at 13 and I took 5. Wasn't he? Or no, because we were, okay, I'm sorry. The Restoration Angel didn't attack. That's why I had life at a weird number there.
Andy carefully deciding what he wants to do here. He doesn't have the luxury of knowing what's in her hand like we do. So.
No, he doesn't even necessarily realize that he's dead next turn to a single card in her hand. So he might attack and then choose not to use his pumps right now. Just like this isn't the turn. And then, oops.
Yeah. Because he could very well just send in the Thragtusk. defensive mindset right now.
Mm-hmm.
Getting beat on by that tyrant.
Leanna
Or
looks,
the
Leanna looks very relaxed right now, too.
Right.
She's just sitting back, not fanning through her cards. She knows what she's got. She's just leaving them stacked up.
Andy is thinking hard, taking a lot of time on this play. And he might have realized it, and that's why he's trying to just work out the math in his head.
No, Andy's leaning back, trying to play it cool. Don't worry. I don't have a surprise 17 damage.
He's bringing in 2. Deciding whether or not his final blocks. And does he...
So now, if that's the Searing Spear in her hand, she shouldn't have blocked that Thragtusk. But it doesn't look like it is. So let's do some math
for the
here.
pump and then the Searing Spear. and
Andy's calm down. She's got to do some math. People don't like to just give it up. She's taking 4. She's taking an additional 1.
I don't like the way Andy did that. 'Cause if she does have a Searing Spear in his hand,
Right.
like he just threw
Well,
him out there.
if the Blood Rush resolved already, then the Searing Spear.
Well, I mean, it was Blood Rush, like...
Yeah, we'll have to see. Looks like lethal. I trust Andy's math here. 9, 18, 23, minus 4 is 19, plus 1. So he's got 5 extra damage here.
Yeah.
All right.
And that'll
Well,
do it.
Andy's going to take it 2-1 then. That does it. Yeah.